Good Wednesday evening, Southeast Texas. Not a lot has changed since earlier this evening as we continue to expect a warm, humid night across Southeast Texas with very little rainfall over the next 7 days. Welcome to 12 News Plus. We'll spend the next 10 minutes looking at a detailed look at your forecast, looking at cloudy skies here in Beaumont. This view courtesy of Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Sky Cam Network. In your weather headlines, the warming trend continues as the humidity continues to increase. Now, we do expect a dry day tomorrow and a weak cold front coming in tomorrow night. Maybe, possibly a sprinkle, but it just doesn't look real promising. After the front passes through, it looks like a pretty good looking weekend as we continue the warm, dry, humid weather conditions through the first half of next week. That means Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. As far as your allergy report, it's that time of the year as the trees are beginning to bud, at least here in Beaumont. We're getting quite a bit of oak tree pollen. That's why it is high on the allergy report today. A little bit of mold and grass also be reporting today. As far as your current burn bans, just Tyler County, but in subsequent days ahead, we think that there's going to be additional counties being added to this list because we don't see any significant rainfall to alleviate drought conditions across Southeast Texas. So what I'm saying is the drought's going to get worse as we head through the next week or so. Yes, I agree. I think there's going to be a few sprinkles here or there with the front coming up tomorrow night into Friday morning. What I don't agree with is this additional 0.05 of an inch as we work on into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. With a ridge of high pressure overhead, it's going to be difficult for this to happen. So maybe a few hundredths of an inch through the next 7 days is all I can look forward to. So we're going with no rain, significant rainfall through the next 7 days. Again, tomorrow night could be a sprinkle or two, but that's about it as far as the 7-day forecast goes. Tomorrow, some better news as far as the wildfire threat. It looks like just a moderate risk tomorrow as we're now over 4 1/3 inches below normal since the beginning of December, and also about 2 1/3 inches down since January 1st. Tomorrow this will be updated, but right now we're in level 2, level 3, and level 4 drought conditions across Southeast Texas. And as I said, with no significant rainfall, this will likely worsen over the next 7 days. We've reached our normal high of 70 degrees coming up for tomorrow, and it's starting to warm up. Climatologically speaking, tomorrow mid to upper 70s across the board. We'll go 76 in Beaumont, but as we head towards Thursday night with that front coming through, it'll bring drier rather than cooler air. The morning lows will be a little cooler, but the afternoon highs may actually be around 80, maybe the lower 80s coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as some of that drier air mixes on into the area. And with the southeast winds returning, maybe early next week, those highs will come down a little bit, but again, around 79 to maybe 80, 81, 82 degrees expected as far as the afternoon highs over the next 7 days. So not a lot of change over the next 7 days. Going to be quiet forecast as the storm track is suppressed well off towards the north and west. I'll show you that in just a second. We've got a lot of low clouds. You can't really see those. Those are moving northwards, but high level clouds are coming down from the north and west. Those are made of ice crystals, and we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 60s right now across Southeast Texas with nothing on radar. So with the returning south winds, we're running about 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday as the warm-up continues across our region. Right now looking at some wind gusts around 20 miles an hour, and that'll be the case over the next few hours as the winds may decrease as we head towards daybreak tomorrow morning, and then they'll come back up tomorrow afternoon, especially in the triangle. So a lot less wind coming up tonight and tomorrow across Southeast Texas. Now that was observations, what's going on now. We flipped to model data, and model data showing maybe some wind gusts around 20 miles an hour here in the triangle tomorrow afternoon. That beats the lower 40s that we saw today. We saw some wind gusts in the lower 40s across Southeast Texas. So it looks like a lot less wind ahead of that front coming up tomorrow night across our region. Across the state, temperatures a little cooler behind this trough of low pressure. It's kind of a weak front, but off towards Abilene, Lubbock, and Amarillo. But as you can see, temperatures very mild along the Texas coast, East Texas, and South Texas. In fact, they got into the 90s over towards Del Rio, Junction, and San Antonio this afternoon. So a little bit early there. Otherwise, temperatures are running, let's see, as you can see, roughly 10 degrees warmer along East Texas and back over to Southwest Texas compared to 24 hours ago, as we continue to see our wind flow now off the Gulf instead of off from the north and east like we saw earlier this week. So a lot of clouds out there right now. The flow is from the northwest in the upper levels. At the surface, the winds are out of the south, and again, that differencing of winds. Again, you can see that northwest flow in the upper levels. What you can't see is some of those low, well, maybe you can see here, you can see how some of those lower clouds are coming in off the Gulf due to different wind directions in the atmosphere. So we're watching this next piece of energy. That front that we're expecting tomorrow night is kind of stalled off to the north and west. So we need a kick in the pants. And it's this piece of energy right over here coming in towards Oregon that is going to flip on down and develop more of a trough. That will help to bring in that next cold front. It's a weak one coming up tomorrow night across southeast Texas. So we'll put this into motion, taking a look at Futurecast. A lot of clouds tonight. I don't think we'll see fog because the winds will be up. Temperatures could actually rise towards morning, but mid-60s seem reasonable at this time as far as low temperatures, and humidity certainly going to be around as we head on into tomorrow afternoon. We'll go with mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies coming up tomorrow afternoon. I think this is overdone. It would be nice to see that, as this is the latest HER model as that front starts to approach us. So again, I was talking about that disturbance coming in from Oregon. Watch this piece of energy right there. This is going to ride on down and head through our area, dragging that cold front. Put this into motion, see how it comes on down right there. There's the disturbance that will bring us our cold front. We track these upper level disturbances because they dictate what we're going to see at the surface where you and I live, cold fronts, things of that nature. And as we head on in to, say, Sunday, Monday, ridge of high pressure. That's why we don't think there's going to be any rainfall. And as you can see, the pieces of energy, these little blobs of red, those are disturbances. They're well suppressed off towards the north and west. And again, this disturbance will likely stay off to the north. The storm track is going to be off towards the north and west. So it looks like dry weather through the next 7 days. As you can see, that energy is headed off well to the north and west. We'll likely head towards Nebraska and lift off toward the north and east. This disturbance right here, we were hoping we'd get some rain out of that at least, but it just does not look real promising. So we'll have to wait to the next one that's in the East Pacific by next Tuesday that we'll be watching here, trying to move on in towards I-10, bringing us a pretty good chance of rain and thunderstorms as we head towards maybe the 8th or so. So tonight, looking at the coastal marine forecast for tomorrow, looks like choppy to rough seas around 3 to 5, some occasional 6s. Small craft advisory currently in effect. Looking at south winds in the morning at 15 to 20, they'll be decreasing in the afternoon to 10 to 15 knots. And our forecast tonight, cloudy, mild, and breezy, mid-60s, occasional gust to 20 miles an hour. Not expecting any rainfall. And then for tomorrow, we'll go with highs into the mid, maybe upper 70s, up towards the lakes area. Again, some occasional 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So put things into motion, and as you can see, maybe a sprinkle here or there with that front. It just doesn't look real promising, but that'll bring a little drier air mass into our area Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But over that time period, we may be dealing with this fog. Could be dense coming up as we head towards Friday morning, and also again on Saturday morning, and also again on Sunday morning. Otherwise,